I received a message from my joint husband at nightclub frowny face where? At home ready to sleep. Half an hour later he appeared at the door of the private room. I compensated with a smile. What a coincidence, you're here too. Hayden said, no coincidence, I came here specifically to catch you. At 10 o'clock in the evening, at my best friend Arya's birthday party, I received a message from my new husband. Where are you? I casually replied, at home ready to sleep. Half a year ago, the Wan and he families negotiated $1 billion cooperation case and Hayden and I got our licenses under the authorization of the elders of the two families. Originally should not be so hasty, but I have been a big fan of color since childhood. The first time we met, Hayden just got off work, white shirt, black pants, jacket on the hand, the light sprinkled on his body like a comic out of The Man. Only after I got married did I realize that Hayden had a love but not a white moonlight, but also in our license the next day far away to Europe. Thinking of this, I threw my cell phone away and incidentally also threw Hayden this person to the clouds. I looked up. Arya did not know when to call out two mixed-race male entertainers is close to the hot dance. Good not happy. Arya hooked her finger at me. Bo, join us. I waved my hand. Thanks, I'm married. After 12 o'clock, my friends left in twos and threes, leaving me and Arya with a dead battery. The male entertainers were all sent away by me and I looked at the sleeping Arya, thinking about how to transport her back. As I agonized, the door was suddenly opened from outside. The man was hidden in the hazy light, only a little outline could be seen, broad shoulders and narrow waist, slender legs wrapped in suit pants, through the white shirt vaguely visible strong thin waist. Alcohol paralyzed my brain, and I subconsciously thought that it was another male entertainer sent by the manager. Thanks, we don't need any more. Don't need what? This voice. The man approached and I looked to see if it wasn't Hayden. Hayden is almost 59 tall and looks down on me, making me look like a little quail. Hey, I giggled. What a coincidence, you're here too. Hayden crouched down to my level. No coincidence, I came here to catch you. I thought I was sleeping at home, adhering to the strategy of if he doesn't ask I won't tell, if he asks, I'm surprised. I pretended to be surprised. Yeah, didn't I say I was sleeping at home? I was a bit vain, but on second thought, I wasn't the one who ran off to Europe the day after my wedding to take care of work. Thinking about this, my back straightened up again. What's more, I was just here to celebrate my friend's birthday. I raised my chin like a little rooster. I came to nightclub to celebrate my friend's birthday. Can't I? Yes, but it's too late. Hayden puts my clothes on. Next time, call me to come pick you up. He's too much. I could cry. I could see our my bottom dropped halfway instantly. Let's go home, Hayden said as he took my hand and my friend's. I gestured to Arya, who started snoring. Hayden glanced at her assistant waiting outside, who immediately understood. Please don't worry, ma'am, I'll escort the young lady to a nearby hotel to rest. We were about to go out the door when we were stopped by the manager, who hurriedly arrived with small steps. Ms. Wen, our male entertainers' fees are billed separately, two totaling $86,000. Will you be swiping your card or Venmo? Hayden's gaze fell on me and slowly said, male model? I woke up with a start, not daring to look at Hayden's face. Venmo'd. I pulled out my phone and just tapped the screen when a pop-up window popped up. Low battery. 0.01 seconds later it snapped off. God, I'm not going to call you master anymore. You don't even treat me like a granddaughter. I stiffened and went to tug at Hayden's sleeve. Can you pay for me? I followed Hayden to the car and the driver drove the car to the bridal house. The wedding house was located in the center of town, a 4,000 square feet penthouse duplex with a large floor-to-ceiling window in the living room overlooking all of New York City. Unfortunately, it's too big and creepy to live in by yourself. So I went back to my apartment right after Hayden left the country. Hayden didn't say a word on the way. She went straight to her room and in a short while, the sound of water rattled in the bathroom. I went to the other bathroom and took a shower lying on the bed. About to fall asleep, the sound of water stopped. I opened my eyes in a daze and Hayden had come back into the room at some point. His hair was wet, drops of water dripped down his neck and onto his chest and his pecs were visible under his thin silk pajamas. The warm air from the air conditioner was whistling, making my cheeks start to warm up. Welcomed, I managed to snap back to my senses and the next second, Hayden took my hand and placed it on his abs. I couldn't help but hold my breath. Who's in better shape, me or the man of the night? My head is spinning. Hayden slowly moves closer, his long white hands brushing through my long hair. The scent of shower gel lingers around me, and the distance closes so violently that I can even make out the small moles at the corners of his eyes, and his rosy lips are a stone's throw away. Hayden's voice is raspy. Welcome, do you want it? I swallow. Yes, you want it? I am not sure I want to. Hayden rises mercilessly and fastens the buttons one by one and the top one carefully. I won't give it to you. After saying that, leaving me with a haughty back of the head, he raised his head and left, leaving me alone and messy where I was. I am taking my clothes off. He's talking to me about this. The next day, waking up early in the morning, I was woken up by Arya's message. Arya frowny face, I was drunk yesterday. Renegade frowny face, nothing happened, right? Why frowny face, you paid for me? Why frowny face, how much? I'll transfer it to you. The dead memories attack me again and sleepiness is gone. Happy bunny frowny face, no, I didn't pay for it. Happy bunny frowny face smiling JPG. Yogi frowny face on credit? Happy bunny frowny face, Hayden paid for it. Rogue frowny face, male entertainer's money? Happy bunny frowny face, right. Arya was very guilty just as DS Family came out with a new product promising that today's spending would be paid for by her. Miss Sood, I picked out quite a few and when I was checking out I saw the gown on the model, chest white silk dress, gentle atmosphere, perfect outline curves. The guide was very insightful. Ms. Wen, this is our new product this season. There are only 2 pieces in the world. I was satisfied. Wrap it up, she pays. I pointed to Arya. The store clerk helped arrange for a car to take it directly to the house. Arya and I wanted to have dinner before going home, but we received a message from Hayden. It's getting late, I'll pick you up. It is dark, the cold wind blowing, the leaves whistling, someone to pick up or not. 10 minutes later, a black Bentley parked in front of the door. Hayden got out and opened the passenger door for me. Thank you. It was the evening rush hour and it took nearly 40 minutes to get there on a 20-minute trip. The car slowly pulled into the garage and came to a smooth stop when Hayden leaned in close and unbuckled my seatbelt. No one can face a big, handsome man without getting aroused, and I felt my face start to heat up and my tongue go haywire. Let's go home first. Wait. Hayden suddenly presses my arm and tilts his head to look at me, his long eyelashes twitching and his eyes seeming starry. You lipstick stuck to my teeth. I hit Hayden hard, inadvertently hitting his pecs and making my hand rod. I grunted and huffed. You deserve a wife, you don't deserve one. I slammed the car door with a jarring thud and behind me I thought I heard Hayden laughing softly. Hayden's overseas business had ended and he would be based in New York City in the future. And I had officially moved into the marital home. Only he was like the Taoist priest who practiced his art. Every time he took a shower he would come to my eyes naked with his upper body and then wrap himself up. Who understands the pain of seeing and not eating? On this night Hayden was working in the study and I was lying on the living room couch watching talk shows and laughing my ass off. Wesley frowny face, sis, did you go to nightclub the other day? How does this brat know? I was about to reply when a new message came in. Wesley frowny face, you're done. Dad knows he's about to ask for help. I opened my mouth wide and before I could think of a response the words, grumpy old man, appeared on my phone screen. The cell phone dinged and the power of this ringtone was no less than that of a time bomb. The old man is an old man, not to mention nightclub. 9 o'clock at night, do not go home, will receive his life-threatening serial call. In a hurry, I ran to the study, pushed open a crack and poked my head in. Are you busy? Hayden closed his computer. No, what's wrong? I cried. My dad found out about me going to nightclub. Hayden took the cell phone and patted my head. Don't worry, leave it to me. No wonder he is the president. Hayden made up a bunch of nonsense without changing his color. Seamless and flawless. The cranky old man was bluffed. Okay dad, it's getting late, we're going to bed first. Hanging up the phone, Hayden handed me my cell phone, his fingertips intentionally scratching my palm. My hand tickled and so did my heart. Honey, I press into Hayden. You've been working extra shifts for days. The knot in Hayden's throat rolls involuntarily. As soon as he pushes Hayden into a chair, he smoothly sits on his lap. No more overtime tonight. Okay, good. Hayden's big hands held my waist and slowly moved closer. The atmosphere of the study gradually became ambiguous. Hayden's eyes were colored with lust and his expression gradually became lost. I nudged the knot of his throat with my index finger, leaving a sloppy kiss on his lips. Hayden's face instantly tinges pink along his neck. Welcome, Hayden asks in a low gasp. Do you like me? Of course I do. What do you like about me? The face. Hayden's long eyelashes quivered. I quickly added, and the bodied. I don't know if it's just a blur, but there's a hint of resignation in Hayden's eyes. Hayden pushed me away, looking serious. That's another price. I froze and said with difficulty, Hayden, can't you? I don't think that's going to work on me. Do you think he can't? I asked for advice. Arya quickly replied, frowny face, not long ago and you said he has a white moonlight. I do not know for the white moonlight to keep his body like a jaded white moonlight. In the end, what kind of god is it that makes Hayden not forget for so many years? I am just pondering. Arya said again, frowny facing, bow we go kid me not hard out. After all, Lao he like the outside is not cheap. I was in tears. The reality is that I cannot even go kid me. In fact, except for not letting me touch, Hayden can be said to be a perfect husband. He leaves work on time, pays on time and is an excellent cook. Auntie comes to clean every day but Hayden basically does all the cooking himself. On this day, I came back from shopping and Hayden was cooking, his apron tied behind him to show off his waist. I'm craving for something. What's for dinner tonight? Didn't you say you wanted sweet and sour chops? Hayden smiles. Fine sweat beading on his forehead. I drew a tissue and wiped away his sweat and said sincerely, honey, you're so handsome. Hayden's spooning motion paused. Besides my face, I have a lot of other good qualities. I nodded my head busily. The meal was quickly prepared and served in the time it took me to change my clothes. 3 dishes, and 1 soup, full of colors and flavors. I was nibbling on my ribs when Hayden's phone rang. Hayden, Maeve is back in the country. Let's have dinner tomorrow night. Maeve, according to Arius gossip, Maeve is Hayden's white moon. Alarm bells went off in my mind and I pricked up my ears. Hayden chatted with the man for a few minutes and finally accepted the invitation. Hayden hung up the phone and returned to the table. Ying, one of my college friends is back in China. We're getting together for dinner tonight. Humph, dog man, can't wait once the white moon is back. I said coldly. Oh, Hayden put the peeled shrimp into my bowl. Do you want to come along? I was surprised. Me too. I don't think so. Hayden's eyes curved. You're my wife. What's wrong with that? I nodded my head and agreed. I would like to see what the legendary white moonlight looks like. Friday night, Hayden picked me up and took me to the banquet. We were late and everyone was already there. Maeve was sitting in the center like a star, her long curly chestnut-colored hair falling to the side of her face and her long beige dress emphasizing her gentle temperament. Hayden, you have to punish yourself for being late. The crowd cried out. Sorry, I was stuck in traffic. Hayden grabbed me by the waist, introduced me. This is my wife. When the atmosphere stood still for a moment and everyone looked at Maeve. Maeve didn't even realize it and smiled. Chen, long time no see. Hayden looked cold and only nodded at Maeve, then took me and sat down. We chatted about everything from company management to the financial situation, but I got bored and went to the bathroom. Ms. Wind, I was washing my hands when Maeve appeared behind me. I didn't expect Chen to choose you as his marriage partner. There are many other things you didn't expect. For some reason I didn't like Maeve from the first moment I saw her. It wasn't because of any animosity, it was more like a magnetic dislike. Win, do you think Chen would have married you if your last name wasn't Win? Maeve asked unexpectedly. Ms. Mo, but my last name is Win and am the first lady of the Win family. Our marriage has led to hundreds of millions of dollars of cooperation, and it will do no harm to both families. Have you asked Shen's opinion? Chen calling me affectionately. I took 3 deep breaths and told myself, behave yourself when you're out and about. None of your business. Get lost. I went back to the private room. My hand on the door handle was about to press down. Then I heard the sound of conversation coming from inside. Miss Wen is a great beauty. How could Hayden not like a beautiful woman? Hayden suddenly spoke. I don't like it. I listened outside the door and my breath caught as Maeve raised a victorious smile. Immediately afterward, Hayden continued, I only like Win. Maeve's expression freezes and she glares at me viciously like a viper spitting its core. Hayden, he likes me? When did that happen? I felt like I'd been hit with a big chunk of honey and was drenched in sweetness. When I sat back in my seat, I was still dumbfounded. What took you so long? Under the table, Hayden reached out and wrapped both of my hands in it. You didn't even put on a jacket. Your hands are so cold. I laughed a couple times. Thank you, husband. Hayden was stunned. His earlobes turned red and he unnaturally looked away. You're welcome. As I drank more than I should have. I walked in an S shape when the party was over. Hayden, I hung on to Hayden like a koala, taking the opportunity to mooch off him, squeezing his pecs several times. Hayden couldn't control me and said helplessly, Ing, be honest, I am your wife. What is it that I can't touch? Can't even touch? Are you unable to? This wine is so strong. My mind drifted away, nestled in Hayden's body, gradually fell asleep. Half asleep, I seemed to hear Hayden say, too easy for you to get, you will not cherish. In the blink of an eye, Hayden and I have been married for half a year. At the end of the year, there are always more banquets and I have to accompany Hayden in the Vanity Fair. Don't be angry. On the way to the charity dinner, Hayden reached out and hooked my finger, softly coaxing. I wanted to wear the dress I bought at DS last time, but Hayden wouldn't let me and made me change into a diamond dress with sleeves. It's just that the front and back are a bit too leaky, isn't it? I glared at Hayden and condemned her. You're a cheapskate. Hayden scowled. Well, I'm a cheapskate. Don't be mad. Just buy whatever you want later. Really? Really? I'm just trying to get over it a little bit. I held Hayden's arm and walked into the banquet hall. There were already a lot of people there and as soon as they saw Hayden, they gathered around to get close to her. I am going over there to get something to eat. Hayden patted my hand. Go on, don't go too far. I know, I'm not a kid. I walked towards the dessert counter, gradually losing the sound of Hayden talking to people. Mr. He and Ms. Wen are very close and Ms. Wen seems to be very attached to you. Hayden shook his wine glass and laughed. No, I'm the one who's clinging to her. I stayed out of the drama and just ate the cupcakes. After I had eaten and drank my fill, I got red jam on my hands at some point, so I went to the restroom to wash my hands, and as soon as I came out, Maeve appeared out of nowhere. Long time no see. Maeve seems like that NPC that refreshes every time in front of the restroom. I turned around and froze after seeing the dress on Maeve. This white silk dress she's wearing is exceptionally familiar, almost identical to the one I was just about to wear, and was forcibly replaced by Hayden. Just like, the difference can be seen in the subtle points. The workmanship is far less rough than that one. Ms. Wen, long time no see. Maeve smiled faintly. Where you came by family? I can come just as well on my own. Then you're great. Maeve looked as if she had punched cotton with an indignant face. Wen, you're a stay out of the drama young lady. What gives you the right to dominate Jen? I smiled slightly. By virtue of my good looks. You. Maeve was furious and was about to speak but was interrupted. Ms. Mo. Hayden rapped me from behind. The bottom of his eyes seemed to have icebergs. His voice was cold. We are just ordinary classmates. We can't even be counted as friends. I don't know where you get the self-confidence to tell my wife what to do. Maeve's eyes covered with water mist. Ordinary classmates? No way. You. Hayden lost his patience and took me away. I didn't like it. What are you doing? I haven't finished listening. Hayden was angry and amused. You like to hear about your husband and someone else so much. Wasn't she your moonlight? You've been faithful to her for so many years. Hayden's expression hardened. Who told you that, Arya? Hayden nodded thoughtfully, then said firmly, rumor. When they were in college, Hayden and Maeve were at the top of their class, and their teachers always recommended them for competitions, so the rumor got out somehow. When the rumors were at their peak, Hayden was already interning at Hees and didn't come back to school often, so she only heard a little bit of the rumors and didn't pay any attention to them. I pinched Hayden's face and said in a low voice, you're used to seducing people with this face. Hayden laughed. Did it seduce you? I said, no, I didn't. The auction started. I was not interested in the exhibits on the stage until the grand finale. The rose and diamond bracelet appeared on the stage. Staring at the bracelet in front of me, I unconsciously sat up straight. Like this one? Hayden asked, sidling up to me. I nodded my head back and forth. The bracelet starts at $1,300,000 and Hayden raises it to $3 million in one go. $4 million. A female voice came from behind me and I turned around. Maeve was looking at me smugly. Beside her was a beer-bellied, balding middle-aged man with a big greasy hand on Maeve's shoulder. Isn't that Mr. Zhang from Zifeng Construction? Mr. Zhang and his wife started from nothing and worked together for more than 20 years to have the current Zifeng Construction. Well, Mr. Wu knows all about it. I was distracted for a moment, and when I came to my senses again, the bracelet had already reached $9 million. $10 million. Maeve gritted her teeth and continued. Mr. Zhang's face began to look ugly. I pressed Hayden's hand. Don't add more, it's just a bracelet, it's not worth it. But you like it, then you buy another one for me. Hayden arched her eyebrows and nodded her head. In the end, Maeve bought a $1.3 million bracelet for $10 million. The dinner ends and Hayden gets tripped up by his partner as I wait for him at the door. When Maeve struts toward me, it's mine, it's going to be mine. I was too tired to talk after a night of socializing. You skirt fake. I spit out lightly. Maeve's smile stagnated. The hand holding the jewelry box whitened and clasped the edge. Swipe Mr. Zhang's card to buy it. I advise you to behave yourself. His wife, Mr. Wu, is not someone who swallows her teeth in her stomach. Coincidentally, Hayden came out at this time. I do not want to continue with Maeve nonsense. Straight to the car. Hayden had been drinking and his cheeks were red. He grabbed my hand and put it on his face. Welcome, hot. Hayden's eyes took on a drunken look. I'll go back and make you a hangover soup. Forget it, the kitchen renovation cost a lot of money. Hayden, I gasped, I'm not that useless. It's true I can't cook, but I'm not above blowing up the kitchen. Hayden lay down on my lap and cooed. Let's go home first. Hayden's skin is smooth and delicate, no pores at all. Her eyelashes are thick and long and her nose is high. Drunk is good. Drunk is good, I thought secretly. As soon as I entered the door, I forced Hayden into a corner, propped one hand on his side and with my other hand pulled on his tie, bringing him towards me. The tip of his nose touched. If anything, extra shift tonight? Hayden smiled suddenly like a beast in the dark of night, his large hands holding my waist, and before I could react, he switched positions with his arm around me. My back was just about to touch the wall when Hayden took me into his arms. The wall is cold, come into my arms. Hayden, my dress is expensive. Don't rip my dress. Hayden gasped, I'll reimburse you. The next day, I woke up sore and looked at the time. It was already past 12 o'clock. Hayden had left for work early and the $100,000 dress had been shredded into rags and piled up in the trash. I dialed Hayden's number and it was answered in seconds. Wake up from your nap, I snapped. Hayden, do you know how much this dress cost me? Hayden stifles a laugh. Sorry, transferring money to you. Half a minute later, my cell phone received a text message. Your tail number 1234 card October 31, 12:16 transfer income 1 million yuan, the balance of 45,161,742.44 yuan. When money is in your hands, there is nothing you can't get through. What do you want to eat tonight? I'll go to the supermarket to buy food, braised chicken wings. Hayden's voice was pleasant. Okay, I'll go buy them after work. That night, I still couldn't eat the chicken wings. Hayden needed to deal with something at the overseas company personally. I'll make it up to you when I get back, Hayden promised. With Hayden out of the house, I was able to start my old nightly routine again. I wanted to ask Arya out for a night on the town, but to my surprise Arya said her card had been suspended and she couldn't move an inch. Arya yelled, "Who the hell told my dad that I went to nightclub to order male entertainers? My dad stopped all my credit cards and left me with a card with a balance of $70,000 to $80,000. I choked, recalling briefly that it seemed to be Hayden the murderer. Arya exasperated, "Don't you think this person is an abomination?" I scowled. Yes, Fox and friends couldn't get out. So I simply nestled in the house to catch up on my drama. 9 p.m. daytime on Hayden's side. Working again, a video call to Hayden. He answered in seconds. "Well, I wanted to go back to see you earlier. It was like peach blossoms bloomed on my heart and I smiled happily. When will you be back? Next Wednesday afternoon. So soon. Can you pick me up?" Hayden's voice held a hint of hope. I looked at the calendar. My college roommate was coming back that morning and I had already promised to pick her up and hang out. I jabbed my finger and explained. Hayden wasn't offended. "It's okay, have fun." Hayden had a meeting to go to, so I turned off the light and went to sleep, realizing I was starting to lose sleep. I wanted to sleep with my abs. I went to the airport early on Kenna's return day and saw her as soon as she came out. "Baby." I rushed up to Kenna and hugged her. "You missed me so much." Kenna, who is almost 58, hugged me and spun me around. "Why did you cut your hair short?" I ruffled Kenna's short hair more like a boy. Kenna chagrined. "Don't mention it. I was going to dye this thing green. Tony couldn't get the technique right and my hair got all messed up for me, so I had to cut it short." Kenna touched her short hair. "It's grown quite a bit. Wait here, I'll get the car." The car was parked a bit far away and it was already 20 minutes later when she picked up Kenna. There was a stupid guy who stared at me for a long time as if I had stolen his wife. My driving skills were mediocre, and I was so focused on driving that I said maybe his wife ran off with someone else. Kenna hadn't been back home for a long time, so I spent the whole day with her and came home at night. Hayden came back at some point and didn't turn on the light. His neat suit became wrinkled and his eyes were red and bloodshot. I rushed up and wrapped my arms around Hayden's neck. "When did you get back?" Hayden paused. "In the afternoon." "Things didn't go well at the company?" He looked a bit serious. Hayden pulled out a smile. "It's okay, the plane ride was a bit long. I'll get you a glass of water." I ran to the kitchen and poured a glass of lukewarm water and was about to give it to Hayden when he got up and walked towards his room. "Have some water." Hayden looked at me, the bottom of his eyes broken, as if he had 1,000 words and nowhere to say them. "No need. Weird." I muttered. I looked at his back, puzzled. Picking up my phone, Kenna sent me a message. Kenna frowny face. "Thanks babe, it was a super fun day." I smiled and sent a kiss emoji back. The next morning I woke up to Hayden already leaving for work with breakfast on the table. I ate breakfast and went out to play with Kenna, leaving early and staying late, only to come home in the early hours of the morning to find the house emptied. I called Hayden and all he said was that something came up at the office and that he was staying at the office for the next few days. "What happened to you?" Intuition told me that Hayden was hiding something from me. "Is there a dog outside?" Hayden's side was silent for a long time and finally asked in a muffled voice, "Will I always be together?" Of course, Hayden stayed at the office for 7 days in a row. When I asked him why he didn't go home, he just shrugged it off and said the office was busy. Until one weekend afternoon I was at home catching up on TV shows when I got a call from Kenna. "Win, come quickly, your husband is crazied." I didn't have time to think about it and rushed to the scene of the crime where Kenna was sitting next to a little boy with a dazed expression. As soon as Kenna saw me coming, she immediately cursed. "Is he sick?" "I'm shopping with my boyfriend." He suddenly rushed up and said, "I'm sorry for you. I am in a relationship." "Where did I apologize to you?" Hayden looked at Kenna angrily. "Cheat marriage, gay." Cheat marriage, and gay." I looked at Hayden, then at the neutral Kenna, and recalled Hayden's recent strange behavior. A realization dawns on me. Kenna is silent for half a second before letting out a sharp popping sound. "Aha, what's wrong with you stepping on a mom, old lady?" Hayden's face changed color: red, orange, yellow, green, blue and purple. Hayden struggled to say, "A woman?" Kenna sneers. "Do you want me to take off my pants and show you?" "Me, you don't have to." I took Hayden's arm. "Didn't I tell you the other day I was picking up my roommate?" I took Kenna's other arm. Kenna, my college roommate. The atmosphere was so awkward that Hayden hid her face and Left, probably feeling ashamed. At night I was sleeping when there was a loud banging outside. I woke up from my sleep and tiptoed to the living room. The living room was dark, and when I looked at it through the streetlight I saw that things had fallen all over the coffee table and Hayden was sitting on the floor with her eyes closed hugging my teddy bear. Welcome. The strong smell of alcohol drilled into my nose, and when I got closer Hayden's cheeks were flushed and her drunkenness was obvious. Hayden. I went up to Hayden and pushed him. Go back to bed. Hayden opened his eyes. Welcome. Hayden threw the doll aside and hugged me. The scent of mint mixed with the smell of alcohol lingered around me. I love you. I froze at the sudden confession. Hayden rubbed against the nape of my neck a few times and mumbled vaguely, do you like me a little bit? Hayden embraced me and collapsed onto the carpet, one hand resting on the back of my head as slightly cool lips imprinted with minty kisses. In the quiet, dimly lit living room, Hayden's kisses come in tiny pieces, passionate and lingering, hard to part with. A stone's throw away, I looked into Hayden's eyes, a clearing, something crossed my mind, fleeting. We were entwined and at some point we came to the bedroom. The room was charming and I didn't drift off to sleep until the sky turned fish-belly white in the distance. I slept until noon the next day. Exhaustion spreading through my limbs. Hayden left for work early in the morning and I dialed his number directly. You seem like the scummy guy who puts his pants on and doesn't recognize him. Sorry, I had a meeting this morning. Hayden said, breakfast is on the table, warm it up. Okay. I was about to hang up when I asked, what are you having for lunch? Takeout. I had never been to Hayden's office. A picture popped into my head of Hayden in a white shirt with the top button undone and a pair of gold-rimmed glasses perched on the bridge of his nose. I swallow and sit up with a carp. I'll go get it for you. Hayden gives a lurch and laughs. That's fine. An hour later I showed up at Hayden's office with my meal. I had eaten a little at home and was full within 2 bites, so I took a tour of his office. Yes, this where you lived on the couch last week? There's a break room in there. I pushed open the door to take a look. It wasn't very big, so it was fine for a temporary break, but living here for a week would be a bit stifling. Hayden puts down his chopsticks and opens his arms, and I walk over and sit on his lap. Hug me. I swept Hayden up as I was told and patted him on the back. Next time something like this happens, you can come and ask me. I am scared. I'm scared you won't want me. I'm scared you'll divorce me. I won't. I'll even give you half of the family fortune. Hayden shook her head. It's all yours. Hayden leaned on me. I had thought it over those days. No matter how good other men are, I am your husband. We're protected by marriage laws. I was amused. You mean you want to be the first wife? I want to be the one for you. Hayden's lips came back up and I pushed a few times. This is an office. Hayden stops as he's told, and it doesn't take but a moment for weariness to rise under his eyes. He hadn't had a good week's rest, had been up almost all night last night, and had gotten up early in the morning to go to work, so I'm afraid he's exhausted at the moment. Go get some sleep. Hayden wrapped his arms around me. You stay with me, okay? When I woke up, Hayden had already left for a meeting. There was a text on my phone from Hayden asking me to wait for him to come home with me from work. I was bored and ordered coffee and dessert for takeout. I met another intern in the pantry. She had a round face and didn't look too old, so I greeted her. It's still a good latte. Usually I drink an iced Americano. That's more bitter than my life. What's wrong? I asked casually. Is the owner mean? My sister seemed to have opened her mouth. Mister, he was so scary last week. He kept a cold face, and when I delivered the wrong document he had a long face. I am not sure who provoked him. I don't dare to say. I don't know who pissed him off. I don't dare to say, but it seems like I pissed him off. But today, mister, he seems to be a different person, just like a spring breeze. My sister lowered her voice. There's one thing that's particularly strange. You mustn't tell anyone. I nodded hurriedly. Yesterday I forgot my keys in the office, and when I came back to get them I saw Mr. He spilling a bottle of white wine on himself. He won't be taken over, will he? I couldn't help but visualize the usual cool and reserved person pouring liquor on himself. It's kinda cute, sis. What are you laughing at? My sister wondered. I forked over a slice of cake, the sweetness spreading through my mouth. Nothing. I miss your brother-in-law. Hayden's meeting lasted until dark. We walked out of the office holding hands and saw that it was snowing. The goose feather snow fell on our shoulders, coloring our hair white. It's snowing again. Hayden mumbled as he reached out to catch a snowflake. I wondered, what do you mean it's snowing again? It hardly ever snows in New York City. I balled up a snowball and threw it at Hayden, crunching with glee. Hayden wasn't angry or annoyed. Instead he warmed my frozen red hand in his hand. Have you ever heard that those who kiss during the first snowfall will stay together for the rest of their lives? Never heard of that. Did you make that up? Try it and you'll see. Hayden embraced me, warmth wrapped around his body and cool kisses fell. My head was spinning. Everyone seems to be looking at us. Let them watch just a little longer. I don't know if people who kiss in the first snowfall will stay together for the rest of their lives, but it doesn't matter. We'll spend the rest of our lives trying to find out. End of text. Hayden extra in the 10th year of loving Win, we got married. The first time we met was on a snowy day. It rarely snows in New York City, and that night the entire city was covered in a blanket of snow. I was visiting family and friends with my parents and met Win, who was building a snowman in the garden. She was dressed thickly, wearing furry gloves, and crouched on the ground in the cold wind to build a snowman for an hour. The snowman was half a man's height, dotted with noses and eyes, chubby and adorable. Win looked at the snowman, nodded in satisfaction, and got up. Go you. The snowman's head was kicked off, leaving only half of his body behind. I laughed out loud. The gloom in my heart cleared away. I began to pay attention to Win. My mom and dad had been separated for a long time, a marriage of 2, a happy marriage of 4. But the Win family was different. The Wyness met at a young age, had a son and a daughter, and had a happy family. I am hiding in the dark, yearning for the sun. I made the cooperation between the he and Win families possible, and to show my sincerity I gave up 3% of the profits. Even so, when I proposed marriage I was still beaten out by Mr. Win with a cue stick. After 3 visits, Win Dong was finally willing to listen to me finish my sentence. Win Dong hesitates. Her brother and Ying look alike. Can we use Wesley instead? Me? Of course not. I only want Win. Win Dong reluctantly agreed, but said that everything should be Wyness ideas first. Win have any favorite things? Win didn't think twice. I like handsome men. That day after returning I looked in the mirror for 2 hours. I look like this, barely a handsome man, right? The day Win agreed to get married I was so happy that I didn't sleep all night. Win revealed that she was very happy with my appearance. I was so happy that I didn't sleep for another night. After the wedding Mr. Win said Win has a short attention span and she will not treasure what she gets too easily. I thought Mr. Win was right and decided to take it easy, slow down. The moment she came to me, all my defenses collapsed. The girl I've wanted for 10 years was in my arms, and I finally realized what Bai Jui had written. On our first birthday, Win was secretive for half a month. She thought she had it all worked out, but she used my card for every single purchase. Make sure you're home on time tonight. Wyness' voice was soft, and she emphasized the word be. Unsurprisingly, I receive a Patek Philippe watch and a custom-made suit from Italy. When I got home, the presents were on the dining room table, just as I'd expected. But where's Win? Win? I shouted as I walked into the bedroom. A huge red gift box bursts into view, and a thought pops into my head. I subconsciously held my breath, suppressed my excitement, and opened the gift. Happy birthday. Win popped out, dressed in a blue and white sailor suit. This present, I love it. Win pouted. You haven't even opened it yet. I pecked her rosy lips. I'm opening it. Wyness' face turned red. That's not what I'm talking about. The ones on the outside. I know what's inside. Win looked puzzled. You swiped my